Welcome to another episode of Just Asking Questions and Just Ignoring the Answers. I posted a video almost exactly like this while I'm having deja vu. But anyway, we're going to look at this camera that's up in the mountains at a chateau. It's actually at a shed. It's a safety location you go to when you're mountain climbing. And this is in Germany versus Bavaria versus your mom. So anyway, here we go. This is for 2016, March 17th, 2:30 a.m. The 2 a.m. and 2:30 a.m. have special characteristics. I'm going to use the 2:30 for explaining this. It's the same date, 30 minutes later from what I was asked to look up. And I'd like to point out that the person who asked me to do this said some nasty things and said I wasn't using multiple images. That's nice, that's not the point. So anyway, this is the image we're working with for right now, and I'm going to point out that if you can see this, it's probably showing an hourglass instead of what it's supposed to. Here, 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 and here are stars. This is the moon, in case you're curious. Yes, it's the moon again. And here's a star, and here's another star. So we have a pairing here, and we have a pairing here. They may or may not show up in the next frame, but the next frame is from forcing Stellarium to put me in the same position, pointing the same direction, and get the same imagery for the night. So here we go. And we get the three up here. Here's a pair here, and the pairing here. Now, this is a bright star that's supposed to be right there. Now, if I switch back over real quick, it's kind of visible, but it's just right there. I'm going to give the full resolution images in an Imagear link, and also I'm going to link to these images so you can go ahead and critique me. This matches to the millisecond the same star pattern with the moon. It's not an unknown planet. You have to be able to remove the variable of it being the moon, Venus, or any known planet. A couple of weeks ago, some idiot uploaded a video showing Jupiter as being Nibiru. This time it's the moon again. And again, as you can see, since this is 2 a.m., nearly 2 a.m., by the way, this is GMT off by 1 or 2 hours, this location's actually at nighttime, and those are light sources, including light bulbs, individual light bulbs lighting this up. And this is the light from the moon hitting it. That's an object in the sky capable of lighting up the area, but nobody had a news report of seeing Nibiru up in the mountains. Okay, maybe it's a really tiny one. Pro tip, I'm going to show you a map with another camera you might want to look up. I'll maybe find a link if I feel generous. But anyway, it's the moon according to Stellarium. Now, the way we double check this is we go to the 16th and the 18th. Well, the 16th was a cloudy day and didn't have any images, so we're doing the 18th. So this is the 18th, and I lined it up by 2:30 instead of 2 a.m. for a reason. You notice from star pattern to star pattern, the stars are almost in the same locations. The moon is moved. You already know what's going to happen. Here's the double points here, 2 stars here. Here's supposed to be 2 stars, and there's supposed to be another one down here, but I can't see it. And this is Stellarium showing the same blasted pattern. Now here we go with this. Now I'm going to try to get that to show up. It's just barely visible right above this little peak right here. Okay? And again, this is supposed to be the moon, and without... Excuse me, I did the wrong direction. Because I'm an idiot. This way here, and boom, it's the moon again. Now, I want to point out that this was easily checked and confirmed by finding out which way it was pointing, because this would correspond to effectively moonrise or moonset, depending on how far west it's pointed. Obviously, it's not moonrise or moonset, it's higher in the sky, but you get the idea. And this was March of 2016. So anyway, here's the map of it. So it's pointing, this is essentially west, and Zuidspats there is right there. Now let's see if we can find that on the, yes, they provided this map, so I was able to do it. There's Zuidspats right there, which is this thing here. So that's west, so that's Alpspitz. What the hell? Anyway, Alpspitz, it's not even visible here. I guess. Oh, there it is. And it's almost exactly right in the middle of this field of view. And we look here, it is. And it was pointing at the moon, and that means the moon was off this way. Okay, that's the mountain range. On the website themselves, they identify all these things. There's something house, and there's Schnorzel house, and Stitzel house, and Wackenstein, and you get the idea. Now, they point Vixel Splat, I think that refers to a location too. And you might be able to see other light. I mean, literally single light bulbs in the distance are showing up. There's one there too. And yes, this is for the 17th. This was identifiable on the site. Someone avoided doing that because they didn't tell me where the location was. They told me what camera to look up and say, see, I proved you wrong. Now, using this map and these locations, I was able to narrow down this street view from this overhead map view. These are all spherical image scans done with someone's camera or whatever, but this grouping has more than one set of images. They're also insanely high resolution, so I was able to get this and compare it directly to this. Schnitzengruben. So yeah, you can see that it really, seriously, look at this look at this chunk of rock down here. That's a big hunk of rock, it's right there. So the camera is at a slightly different angle. Now to get that figured out, again, this is the map of the spot, we'll look it up. So this is their own graphics on their site. That's a picture of the weather gathering thing, and here you see a solar panel pointed more towards us, and a green box, a solar panel here, and a camera, and this up here is for stuff for measuring rain and all that. That's the camera. And let's just get her over here. This is what it looks like before, and it says before in July, before it didn't have a camera. And there's the solar panel and the green box, and that's it. That's really all there is to that. Okay, next we go here and look a little back. This is way down the hill looking up at the camera, and this is the angle the camera's pointed at. You also notice it's a Christian cross here and stuff, so you know, Illuminati. And it looks like it's about to fall into the gorge, and there's been a lot of rock falls. So I wouldn't count on this thing being there forever. But next, this is a look down. As you can see from certain angles, that's a really tall cliff or a really tall hunk of rock it's sitting on for that camera. And I'm going to bring up a certain someone out there. Okay, here we go. Auguste Piccard, which is one of two people that was the inspiration for the name Jean-Luc Picard on Star Trek. From an article called 10 Miles High in an Airtight Ball, Popular Science, 1931, August, page 23. The person who brought up this meme said, go look it up, but he included a link that included a particular search string where it said August 1st. Now, because this is a monthly at the time, in 1931, for Popular Science, that confused the search engine and made it look like it was missing. So he claimed it was redacted. That person did that on purpose. It's not a mistake. It was a lie the person was doing. Because if you just remove first, so it's just 1931 August, you find this, and on page 23, the assertion is that Auguste Piccard said that the Earth is flat. Now, I don't know if you're reading along with me at home. Some of you are avoiding it because reading is not fundamental, or at least not fundamentalist. I'm reading a direct quote from a Popular Science 1931 August issue. By definition, until Disney messed it up, this would be under not just fair use, but under well, it would be in the public domain. But anyway, I'm going to read this. It's an excerpt. It's not the whole thing, and this is under fair use. This is a direct set of quotes from the person who wrote this from their perspective. The story of their adventure surpasses fiction. During the ascent, the aluminum ball began to leak. During their adventure, this is not done in the first person. So everything written here is not from Auguste Piccard. This is from somebody working at Popular Science doing this article. Oh gosh, everybody's assertion that he confessed to something or said something is now a lie, isn't it? I bet they didn't actually give you the entire article to look at so you could figure this out. This is called critical thinking. They plugged it desperately, they again, not in the first person, with Vaseline and cotton waste to stop the leak. They had an air leak in an air compressed ball at 15 psi and it changed pressure, so they had to plug it. The they could be one person or several. In the first half hour, the balloon shot upward 9 miles. Well, that explains it. It was going through hardcore pressure changes, and it cracked. Now, here's some important components. through portholes, the observers, again, this is not in first person, through portholes, they saw the Earth through copper-colored and then bluish haze, which means it was bad viewing conditions. It seemed a flat disk with upturned edge. That's not even referring to the Earth at this point. It could be referring to the haze. At the 10-mile level, the sky appeared a deep dark blue. That's something most people can figure out pretty quickly. With observations complete, the observers, this is still not in first person, tried to descend but couldn't. While their oxygen tanks emptied, they floated aimlessly over Germany, Austria, and Italy. Cool evening air contracted the balloon's gas and brought them down on a glacier near Obergurgler, Austria, with 1 hour's supply of oxygen to spare. You might want to look up whether or not they used an oxygen-nitrogen mix or if they used pure oxygen and what that does to people's minds. Yeah, you might want to look into that. Next thing is, you might definitely want to look into this not being the words of Auguste Piccard. He did not say, ever, it seemed a flat disk with upturned edge, because he did not. This is something that was said by someone who wrote the story for Popular Science in 1931, and you might want to look at the rest of them. I'm going to give you links, unlike everybody else, and I'm not going to put in a bad search engine string so you can't find it. I'm going to make it to where you can find it and confirm that it also had a lot of other sensationalistic stuff in it. Auguste Piccard never said under any conditions it seemed a flat disk with upturned edge. I've tried to find this anywhere else. It's only in this, and it is literally someone else's work. It has nothing to do with Auguste Piccard, period. This is all in the, none of this is in the first person. None of this is quoting him. They don't even use the traditional putting quotation marks around it. It is not the assertion of Auguste Piccard that any of this was true. He might not have even been involved in this. This is the equivalent to looking at a YouTube video and saying that it proves someone said something when it doesn't have the person on screen saying it. This is exactly the same thing. And again, oxygen link and an oxygen increased atmosphere in an aluminum ball going up 9 miles in a half hour. That's a real stressful environment. Maybe somebody did a little hyperbole or hyperbole. Again, one more time. Auguste Piccard never said that. And to the person using that name for his channel name, your meme is dead. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. And yes, your assertion about me analyzing these sunsets and saying maybe you guys should just enjoy them instead of trying to find some way to make hay out of them, I'm sticking by my assertion and I'm shooting down yours. Good day.